In 1989, the Spanish Navy started looking to replace their aging submarine fleet. Their submarines had been in service since the 1960s, and the average lifespan of a submarine is only about 30 years. So they went looking around and found a company called Navantia, whose proposal would give Spain the most advanced non-nuclear submarine in the world. It had an advanced air-independent propulsion system, which would allow the diesel boat to stay underwater for 28 days plus. It had advanced weapon systems, advanced combat systems, and basically pushed the Spanish Navy from being a defensive coastal navy to an offensive deep water navy. So in 1999, they signed a contract for 4 boats, and they began construction. There were the normal delays, normal setbacks, there were budget cuts, delivery was pushed back again and again, and then the engineers found a problem. Sometime during the design phase, a small math error, what was basically reported as a decimal point in the wrong place, resulted in their design being 75 to 100 tons overweight. This weight imbalance meant that while the submarine would dive normally, it was actually too heavy to resurface again. So the engineers made the significant decision to stop construction immediately. They told everyone, and they went looking for outside help, and they found it in the form of an electric boat out of Groton, Connecticut, who actually had experience in this sort of thing. To me, it's obvious that the engineers at Navantia valued the safety of the submarine crews. They placed an enormous value on human life, and it showed when they stopped construction and they told people. It also shows that they valued integrity. They didn't have to tell anyone. They could have swept it all under the rug. It was a small math error. It wouldn't have been found for years and years, and you'd have to go looking for it to actually find it. But instead, they decided to own up to their mistakes before someone got hurt. They faced the consequences and did it willingly, even though those consequences could have been huge. They could have lost the contract. They could have lost their jobs, or people could have died. Now, what could Navantia's engineers have done better? Action-wise, there's a thing in the Navy called watch team backup, which is basically having each other's back so that as a team you don't fail. And if the engineers had done something like this, if they had checked each other's work, if they had taken a little bit of pride in their own work and made sure that it was done right, second check yourself, then the odds that a small, simple mistake doesn't turn into a very large, very expensive mistake. They could have valued a few more things also. They could have valued their work, had more pride in it. They could have made sure that the job they were doing, they actually did it right instead of just getting it done. So today's engineers can actually learn a few very important things from Navantia. Like I said before, Navantia's engineers, they put the safety of the crews that would actually man these boats and the lives of the crew first and foremost. And this is paramount. The product of your company shouldn't go on to injure its end user, because a human life it's irreplaceable. There's no amount of money that can be given, no amount of wishes that can be wished to bring back that life if it's lost. So they did the right thing. And if engineers today emulate that, then really the world would probably be a safer place, at least a little bit. The engineers also, as I said before, valued integrity. They owned up to their mistakes. They did what they had to set it right. And that's something that engineers today, and really anyone today, can and should emulate. You shouldn't have to wait for your mistakes to get found to own up to them. And that's exactly what Navantia's engineers didn't do. When they found their mistake, they brought it up to the world. They stopped construction. They made sure that everyone knew that there was a problem and that they had found it first. And that takes massive amounts of integrity. If engineers today, if people today operated in that same manner, then really the world would be better. You wouldn't have to wait to get called out. Things like that wouldn't eat at your soul. And it would just make you a better person. Other than that, thank you very much.